Welcome to World Gospel Broadcasting Network. I am Abanda Edwin, broadcasting from our studios. Thank you for being part of this broadcast. Happy to know that you are there. Let's begin with what we have for you today straight away. Today we'll be talking on the topic hypocrisy in today's Church of Christ. Hypocrisy in today's Church of Christ. Dear brothers and sisters worldwide, the decision by the American elders and missionaries to work with individuals and not congregation was and is and forever remain a terrible mistake. They have decided to make individuals and their families wealthy and the church poor. These individuals use the works of others to cash more money into their accounts. They have become demigods. These individuals command other congregation preachers to work at their own whims and caprices before they are being supported. While these individuals buy lands, build good houses for themselves, send their family members abroad for greener pastures, each square meal per day. Other colleague preachers only pick the crumbs that fall from their table in the name of support. Yes, because the support that you hear support is virtually something that does not really support the preacher as well. Many preachers live as beggars every day, as though they do not deserve to have their own houses, car, and a square meal per day. Why these individuals whom the missionaries work with keep buying lands and building houses for themselves? Hundreds and hundreds of congregations are with no land and a worship hall of their own. So I doubt if they think positive of the work of God. If they are kingdom-minded and they are ready to save souls, as some of them claim. When congregation request for a helping hand, these individuals will say, "We are overstretched. There is no money." Some in their pride, arrogance, greed will say, "I look for my connection. If I was not there, what would you have done?" These individuals whom the missionaries work with have suddenly forgotten that they are just a vessel that God is using and will one day not be there, and God will still use others to accomplish His will. Note this today. If anyone wants to destroy God's work, God will destroy him first. God will destroy him because the souls of those Jesus died for are greater than any human greed. Dear brothers and sisters, another problem: the untransparent and unorthodox formulation of churches of Christ institutions, such as Bible schools, hospital schools, etc., is a call for concern. Overseeing congregations, that's the American elders and their missionaries, in their quest to continue to enrich individuals, foster corruption, untransparency, pride, as in their Bible schools, hospitals, etc., put individuals to run them and be everything instead of a board. Tell me how there will be transparency. Tell me how there will be new ideas if it's only a single person manages everything. That is not seen anywhere in the world. As much as credibility is concerned, transparency, and management of institutions are concerned. It is only in the Church of Christ that such a thing is happening. It is terrible. This is really unheard of. The tight secrecy surrounding this institution has now given room for speculation, rumor, jealousy, backbiting, enmity, hatred, and division. Dear brothers and sisters, how can you explain that a missionary stays in Cameroon years upon years, donate millions for community projects, donate money for communities, but will not construct a single meaningful worship hall for the Church of Christ? Are you sure that that missionary is thinking well or thinks well for the Church of Christ? It's better such missionaries leave because they are occupying space and others may want to come to Africa. We say, let me go to other place because I think my brother is here. Whereas he's virtually there, enjoying himself. You are having a Bible school, there is no building for it. You keep renting, everything is renting. It means that the day you leave, everything leaves with you back to America. And we return back to square zero. What's the Church of Christ of our time? Dear brothers and sisters, many congregations only exist on papers and pictures, but in reality, they have long closed down. Many missionaries are just interested in pictures to impress their donors and solicit for more funds for themselves. Missionaries come and meet their individuals and they move around, gather people, preach, baptized, keep pictures, take pictures, and leave and abandon the baptized to themselves with nothing sustainable. This is what is happening. Because they have made the American elders to believe that if you just see picture, you just are believing in the picture. You don't put down, sustainable programs. People just come and preach, baptize, and go back, and you hear, oh, there is a new congregation established here. A temporary congregation that stays maybe just for weeks, some just for months, some just for 2-3 years, and it has collapsed because there's virtually nothing sustainable. When you leave congregation, you come for mission, and you leave the mission not even accomplished. Congregation have never constructed. They don't have where they can now stay and then start managing themselves. You leave. It could be that some of these people want us to remain beggars forever. God forbid. We want the Church of Christ to be strong so that even Africans can start going for missions in Africa. Some come but for seminars. For in Cameroon, for instance, seminars are not useful again. Many preachers have been trained. And because many preachers have been trained, it is now time that missionaries come with sustainable projects that will sustain this congregation. We do not think that we don't have the knowledge of the Bible. We are not coming to teach a new Bible. We are now adequately nourished in the truth. What we simply need are sustainable projects that will keep these congregations alive for them to continuously preach and save others. Dear brothers and sisters, a certain brother said when he came back from America that some American elders says they cannot support congregations in Cameroon because they do not have elders. Let me ask you, how do you expect congregations in Cameroon to have elders when your missionaries left the work undone and come back to America and you are not worried? Many of whom have left from Cameroon without them establishing a single congregation with a constructed worship house. Congregation keep migrating from one place to the other, worshiping in one tiny room or the other. Examples are just so numerous to mention. It is a terrible situation. It is even getting worse that if nothing is done, we are expecting more congregations to be crushed, or better still closed down, not to exist. Where are we heading to? I was so saddened and I cried right deep in my heart. As a lover of souls, what is happening within the Church of Christ is like a people who have gathered to preach truth but never practice truth. Preach virtues but practice vice. The Church of Christ needs a revival. Persons who are selfless, willing to serve and are ready to answer the call of service at any time. It is time that even Africans can become missionaries in Africa. For the American brothers, we therefore encourage you that whatever you want to do in Africa, do it with all your heart. It is time to disseminate the work and not focus on an individual, because they will fail. Congregations will never fail, because when people are together, they will be talking unanimously and focusing towards the kingdom. But a single person thinks about himself and himself only. It is a time for reawakening. The brother who said congregation in America said they cannot support congregation in Cameroon because they don't have elder, that is unfounded. I don't know if that's the truth, but if it is the truth, then such a statement should not be heard. Does it mean if we don't have elders, we don't merit to be supported? How do you expect us to have elders when the work that was done was not sustainable enough for us to adequately build upon to have elders? Yes, it is even going to be so and worse, because issues are depreciating day by day. As we are talking, congregations like the Batoke Church of Christ in Libe may likely be removed from where they are presently worshiping in a school, because the individual want to take a school, re-equip it for something else. Where will the church go to? Let us stop even the idea of temporary buildings. Let us march forward with plans to start buying church lands and constructing buildings for churches of Christ. If we must go ahead and if we must plan sustainable congregations and congregations that will last. Dear brothers and sisters, we weep day by day when we see what is happening. This generation must stand up for the truth and stand up for the growth and prosperity of the Church of Christ. We must condemn every action that retrogressed the church. We must condemn every action that retrogressed the prosperity of the Church of Christ. This church is pure and good and was established by the blood of Christ. And we must not allow people to gamble with it. We must not allow people to take the Church of Christ for their personal gain. That is only temporal, because they will die and leave this earth, and Jesus Christ and his church and his kingdom will remain. Dear brothers and sisters, we, this generation, will not accept or stand for anything less than standing for things that are heavenly minded. Brethren, truth conquers. And truth need no weapon, because it is all powerful. As I end, I will say, we thank God because there is God. Thank you for being part of this broadcast of today. God bless you. Remain faithful, remain committed as we see the Church of Christ move to another level. God bless you bountifully. Thank you for listening to World Gospel Broadcasting Network. I am Abanda Edwin. Bye-bye.